Liverpool have reached meme status whilst Red Card FC can't help themselves. Juventus' new manager has an awkward tattoo, and Real Madrid plan to sue UEFA over Super League damages. This is DMAC Daily. 6 L's in 7 games. The Gen Alpha folks are reveling in Liverpool's latest disaster class, but Reds fans, it's not all bad news because hey, at least you now won't have to face Crystal Palace for the next 6 months. You are spared of further pain from Ismail Assar for the foreseeable future. Focusing on this particular beatdown though, and this outcome was kinda inevitable, not due to Liverpool's poor run of form, but the fact that Slot basically accepted defeat with that lineup. Seriously, what was he thinking? Like, I understand Liverpool's next 3 matches are highly consequential and the need to adequately rest and rotate players, but this 11 never stood a chance. Their bench had nothing to offer either. Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle and City also rested key players in their respective cup matches, but their benches were all stacked. It's like Slot had no interest in advancing to the next round. I do feel bad for Academy graduate Amara Nalo though. He's now made 2 senior appearances off the bench and has been sent off on both occasions. He clearly loves the Reds, but in all seriousness, I'm just perplexed by Liverpool. Off the back of such a successful year and the record-breaking transfer window that followed, their sudden demise has defied logic. Since late September, Liverpool have now lost more games than any other side in Europe's Big 5 leagues in all competitions. It is surreal. Palace's fans were chanting "sacked in the morning" towards Slot. Such a bizarre timeline we're witnessing. These lads are moving like relegation battlers. I cannot emphasize enough just how important the next 3 games are, because if Liverpool don't turn it around quickly or at least show visible signs of improvement, Slot's position will legitimately be in jeopardy, which if you told me this 3 months ago, I would have assumed you were mentally ill. But this is the beauty of football, right? The outcomes are so unpredictable at times. Unless you're actively watching Chelsea, that is, because I can guarantee you 2 things will happen. You'll witness shambolic defending and a prolific amount of red cards. Wolves v Chelsea was a prime example. The Blues were 3 to the good by half-time. Gittins carving up on the left flank. Esteval with a magical goal. Outrageous technique, by the way. Andre Santos also bagging his first for the club. Happy days, but in typical Chelsea fashion, a second half capitulation was in order. 2 carelessly conceded goals. Adebayo is not at the level required. It was a relief to see Delap come back from injury. Chelsea have been lacking goals of late, but his return would be remembered for all the wrong reasons. Bro thought he entered a UFC octagon or something, because he was playing like a thug and deservedly saw red. Chelsea's 7th red card in 9 games. Thankfully, Gittins then capped off a top display with a screamer, but Wolves then scored again. So 4-3 it finished. Pure madness. A W on and also off the pitch for Chelsea today, with club legend Eden Hazard officially inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. Boy, do I miss him. Elsewhere in the cup, Arsenal won and kept a clean sheet, which is unsurprising, but they didn't score off of a set piece today. City for once didn't rely on Haaland as Cherki and co got the job done in Wales, and Newcastle knocked out a toothless Spurs, with Isak's replacement Voltemata continuing his rich reign of form. The quarterfinal stages have also been announced, and I gotta say, it's a favourable one for the bigger clubs. Chelsea were definitely the luckiest though, having drawn 3rd tier side Cardiff. And now, a word from today's sponsor. Ever tried to watch a match overseas and got hit with that "not available in your country" message? Yeah, it's the worst. That's why I use Proton VPN, so that no matter where I am, I can still watch every game. With Proton VPN, region blocks disappear. Their network covers over 120 countries, meaning you can access football from literally anywhere. So I can stream all of world football's biggest matches from the Premier League, the Champions League, World Cup qualifying, and greatest of all, my beloved A-League. Their servers are seriously fast, 10 gigabits per second connections with a built-in VPN accelerator that keeps your stream smooth and lag-free, which is crucial for live games. And it's not just about speed either. Most importantly, it's private, meaning that what you stream is only your business. Proton VPN's made by the same team behind Proton Mail, so your data and streaming habits stay private thanks to their no-logs policy, secure core servers, and Swiss privacy laws. No tracking, no snooping, just football. So if you're sick of missing matches or dealing with dodgy streams altogether, make it easy. Head on over to protonvpn.com/dmac, grab their Black Friday deal with up to 75% off, and start streaming football from anywhere, safely, privately, and in full HD. Thanks to Proton VPN for sponsoring today's video. Shifting gears to Italian football, and Juventus have made a surprise managerial appointment in Luciano Spalletti. After a messy few months under Igor Tudor, Juve have turned to a proven winner, the man who ended Napoli's 33-year wait for a Scudetto. Spalletti's reputation for tactical discipline, defensive cohesiveness, and a high level of man management gives supporters hope that he can bring structure and belief back to a team that's looked lost for far too long. Italian pundit Walter Sabatini even said Spalletti commands instant respect, calling him exactly the kind of leader Juventus need right now. But it's not all applause. Some supporters are uneasy about his recent struggles with Italy, where the results were abysmal before he was let go. Others wonder whether this appointment is bold enough, no pun intended. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with that particular concern. The last thing Juve need right now is an inexperienced or risk-heavy coach, considering the state of this team. But then there's the real elephant in the room, Spalletti's Napoli tattoo, a symbol that doesn't sit easily with Juventus's die-hard fan. For context, these two clubs actively despise one another. It's one of Italy's more bitter rivalries, so I can't envision Spalletti pulling up in short sleeves whilst at the helm. His contract with Juventus is relatively short, signing until June 2026 with a reported salary of 3 million euros per season, but the deal includes an automatic extension clause if he guides the club back into the Champions League, which would also trigger a salary increase too, an expectation that I think he can easily achieve. Juve just also ended an 8-game winless run, a 4-game goal drought, having defeated Udinese 3-1, taking them up to 7th, just 3 points off of 4th place. This isn't prime Juve, but they have the personnel to be amongst the league's best. I'd imagine Juve will improve drastically from Tudor to Spalletti, but only time will tell. In other Serie A matches, Roma defeated Parma to go level on points with Napoli at the top, thanks to goals from Hermoso and Dovbyk. Shout out to Aussie rising star Circati, who also got on the score sheet for Parma. Inter climb into 3rd place thanks to a brace from their midfield maestro Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who is now the equal top scorer in the division. In what other league would a defensive midfielder be the top scorer? That is peak Serie A. Moving to France, and as PSG and Marseille dropped points overnight, Monaco jumped up into 2nd, hitting Nantes for 5 on the road, while Strasbourg climbed into the top 4 following a 3-0 win at home, with new signing Joaquin Panicelli on the score sheet once again. This guy is on track to become one of Europe's top strikers, a product of the esteemed River Plate Academy. Panicelli would make his breakthrough at Alaves, but it was only last season in La Liga 2 on loan at Mirandés where he really popped off with 29 goal involvements in 44 appearances. Strasbourg then signed him for 16.5 mil, and he has exceeded expectations thus far, scoring 9 goals in 10 Ligue 1 appearances and is now the top scorer in the league. He came in as a backup to their captain, but with Omega struggling to stay healthy, he's taken full advantage. Maybe Chelsea made a mistake in signing the Dutch forward over Panicelli, because this guy is a monster. Speaking of prolific strikers, Kane was back at it with 2 goals, one of which was outrageous as Bayern made light work of Köln. Truth be told, there were no real upsets in the DFB Pokal today, with wins from Bundesliga clubs Stuttgart, Freiburg, Union Berlin and Leverkusen, who prevailed at the death in extra time away at Paderborn. And finally, we gotta quickly talk about Real Madrid, as the Spanish Giants have confirmed they will seek substantial damages from UEFA after Spain's provincial court upheld a ruling that UEFA violated EU competition law by blocking the creation of the European Super League. The court dismissed appeals from UEFA, La Liga and the Spanish FA, reinforcing a 2023 European Court of Justice decision that found UEFA's monopoly control over new competitions unlawful. Madrid argue the verdict opens the way for them to claim compensation for losses linked to UEFA's obstruction of the ESL project, which was famously launched and quickly abandoned in 2021 after severe public backlash and threats of sanctions. UEFA said it will review the decision, but insisted it does not validate the Super League or undermine its revised rules from 2022 and 2024, which it says now comply with EU law. With Real Madrid seeing this as a moral and legal victory, critics note that UEFA has already adapted and that Real Madrid have also hardly suffered, winning 2 of the last 4 Champions Leagues. Personally, I find this entire saga to be both unserious and also deeply hypocritical from Real Madrid. Remember, this club recently claimed outrage at La Liga's decision to host a league fixture abroad, claiming sporting integrity was at stake, yet it was Madrid's ownership that championed the Super League's inception, one of the most dystopian concepts in modern football that was thankfully scrapped. Don't get me wrong, I'm against UEFA and La Liga's greed. All these institutions are morally bankrupt, and I'm grateful that the US La Liga game didn't go ahead, but Real Madrid's latest statement celebrating this verdict whilst obnoxiously claiming they will, quote, continue working for the good of global football and its fans is just comical to me. Florentino Perez was literally the face of the Super League. Don't be fooled. Real Madrid evidently don't care about the good of anyone but themselves. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching today's DMAC Daily, and I'll catch you tomorrow.